This is the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast, and I'm your host, Trudy Simmons from the Daisy Chain Group, providing platforms for women entrepreneurs to be seen and heard. This platform is for women entrepreneurs that want to hear the real stories of what it takes to be yourself and run a business with all the different hats that you might have to wear. These are the stories of the tenacious, the rebellious, and the resilient women that are working towards the future that they want to build for themselves and their families. Hello and welcome, and thank you for being here. I am so excited to introduce you to Belinda Sampson from BellaCrafts. Belinda, thank you for being here, and please tell us about your business.
So, yeah, lovely to be here. Thank you for having me. I run 2 craft centres in Hampshire. And we sell retail, so we've got lots of craft products, and we run a whole host of activities from children's parties, hen do's, baby showers, workshops, preschool. So we're kind of an activity centre. And we do things like we had a petting farm recently. So we're just all about running activities for family and businesses and different groups and communities.
Amazing. And I know that this business started in a shed 2 years ago, more than 2 years ago? How long
About
ago?
10 years. About 10 years ago, I think.
So now that you've got 2 venues and growing, how does it feel? Does that feel like a complete distant past that you started in a shed?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I find it really odd. It's quite strange to think of it where I started. And I literally just started making jewellery and then have grown it from that. So I suppose it does feel a bit strange of where I started to where we are now. I mean, the business is very busy, so I kind of just heads down running all the time. But sometimes if I talk to people about it, I think, oh gosh, yeah, I can't believe that's why I started. So yeah.
How did it begin in a shed?
So before BellaCrafts, my background's in charity fundraising. So I was organising an event at a local garden centre. And I was wearing some of the jewellery that I'd made, and the lady we were doing a Christmas event together, and she said, "Oh, I like your jewellery." And I said, "Oh, I've made it. I'd love a little shop." And she said, "Well, we've got a shed. I mean, we could rent that out to you if you want." I was like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely." And it was quite expensive as well. So, I learned from the start about overheads and things like that. And right from the beginning, it was always about people. So I always wanted to have workshops and people in doing things as well as selling bits and pieces. So yeah, literally, it's just a conversation. You never know who you're talking to.
Yeah, always open to opportunities.
Absolutely.
Which absolutely leads to, you are legendary for your drive and ambition and your unwavering belief. But how do you keep that alive for yourself, and how have you over the last 18 months?
I just love what I do. And I think because we work directly with the public and with businesses and with people, it's always evolving and changing. And we're a yes business. If somebody asks us to do something, we say yes and then sort out later how we're going to do it. If I spoke to you a year ago and said we're going to have a petting farm, I'd be like, where, how's that even possible? So I think we just run and grab with every opportunity. So it's always evolving and new. And for me personally, obviously I started the business and I worked all the time running the business, but now I work a lot from home. I've got my 2 little boys. So the business has evolved so much, and I love to see the business successful. I really enjoy working with a team of people and seeing what great things they can bring. I think for me, it's just always exciting. So obviously over the last 18 months, it's a little different to how we anticipated it. But again, we just grabbed that opportunity. I mean, it was a shock, and it was a shock for everybody in business, and we closed overnight. But then we worked on that. We've got a YouTube channel. We've got adult and children's subscriptions going out monthly. We've got a laser cutter where we're making our own products. We've got a whole shop online with over 1,000 products. So for us, it was an opportunity to pause and think, okay, what can we do? I mean, one of the greatest things we did was we started a new brand called Make Me, which is all trademarked now, which we're really excited about. And they are gift boxes, but it's adding gifts in and a craft product. So we don't think you can beat that, having something nice to eat or to do, and then having your crafty things. So it's all about wellness and mindfulness and things like that. So I think, yeah, it's just always exciting. I mean, it's hard work. It's always exciting. It can be very stressful. But obviously you've got the momentum of the business behind you. So, you've always got that momentum, and you do firefight quite a lot. There's always things that come up, little things as well. The tap could be leaking, or there's something broken. I often find that I'm like a plumber, a handyman, a customer service, a HR. So I think that for me works because I enjoy overseeing quite a lot of responsibility.
And you've built an incredibly loyal customer base that, with lockdown happening and closing straight away, and your customers really were behind you in trying to book things for the future, however many times they've been moved since then. That you knew, and you just opened a new venue as well. So being bricks and mortar is very different out there anyway, but just opening a new venue, having this incredible customer base, and then coming up with these Make Me subscription boxes. They wanted you to give them something that they could then do.
Yes. I mean, you don't really get an opportunity to almost stop your business. I mean, you don't want that to happen. If it did, it really made us realize how much loyalty, like you say, that we had. Because without that pause, I don't think we would have ever really taken stock and, believed in ourselves so much. And it was amazing. No one knew when we were reopening or anything, but people booking parties and buying vouchers and really want to support us. And I think that's just because we absolutely believe in people. We want people to come in and leave feeling happier than they were before they came in, and it doesn't take that much. The whole team are brilliant with customers. They want to know about you. They want to know how you are. We get so many mums in with new babies, or dad bringing toddler out for the first time. We've got lots of NHS groups that are booked in just because they've survived the last 18 months, so it is a place, it's a lovely place to be. I mean, I know I'm going to be biased, but that's what we try and create. We want people to be happy at our place, and I think that's where the loyalty came from, and they feel it when they come in. So I think that's what's done it.
And with you had a baby in lockdown as well.
Oh yes.
Baby had to shut down your business, start a whole new sideline with the subscription boxes. How have you dealt with all of this for yourself and with that many staff as well over this time?
I think the key is just don't think about it. I'm an incredibly hard worker. Work most days. I juggle with the children. I'm not going to pretend and say it's an easy ride. But I go back to the beginning. I genuinely love what I do, and I can see the growth and the success of the business. If we weren't growing, I'd lose interest really. But because it's amazing to have an independent, and if the team come up with an idea, we can run with it. I think that's the beauty. But yes, I mean, like everyone's got a journey through the pandemic now, and we're still in it a little bit, and I think that's where we're coming to our own as well. We're going to be that safe space for people to talk about their journeys. I think it's been incredibly hard for so many people. I mean, I look back and Theodore's, I don't know how old he is, about 18 months, I don't know. And it's crazy to think that I had a baby in lockdown, and we were in hospital 10 days, we were isolated a couple of times, and no one really knew the threat of COVID to mums and babies at that point. Quite a scary time, but I think, like a lot of us, you have two choices, don't you? You either get on or you can't, and you have to just keep pushing yourself, with the caveat that you have to relax at certain points and take time out if you can. I find it impossible. But, the other thing that I think is surround yourself by like-minded people. That's a massive difference. If you can, that's one part of your group. You can just, and it doesn't matter what size business it is, you're all on the same page, trying to grow, to attract new customers and things like that. And I think that's amazing, just to be with people that are similar, like-minded to you.
Well, and it is that thing of that unwavering belief, and that drive and ambition that you have is infectious. And when you're around other people, they feel like that. And being in a group of like-minded people, if you're the one that has that, and especially with your staff as well, being younger, that it's such an amazing role model to have, to watch what you've been able and capable of doing over not just this time, but in the last 10 years. You've never stood still and thought, well, that'll do then.
I'm probably slightly insane.
Crazy.
Yeah. I have incredibly high standards for the business, and I do for myself. And I am definitely a go-getter. I'm enthusiastic, and I want to throw myself into everything. And I want to take people along with the journey with me. I just believe massively in people, and I have such big goals and ambition that I'm not sure when I would pause or stop. I think addictive maybe is the wrong word, but when you can see something growing and you're supporting people and people benefit from so much. We've just been at 3 events this weekend, and it's just lovely seeing people join in and craft and chat and be together. I mean, particularly now after all this time of, being separated and stuff, it just shows actually we humans need that interaction and people. So I think, yes, I absolutely believe in what I deliver. I mean, that's been hard over the time because obviously I do work a lot. And so you have people that are worried about you and, how long you're going to do this for. And also, people measure success differently. What's successful to one will be different to another. And actually, we live in an era where, the .com businesses were making millions overnight. And that's what everyone expects a business to almost do now. There's this great pressure of, well, what money you're making all the time. A lot of people are very interested in, what are you making? And actually, it's not all about that. I mean, obviously, I make money because I have to pay a lot of people and I've got a lot of overheads. But, for me, I think that's the difference, that I believe in what I'm doing. And then the rest sort of falls into place, usually, sometimes, often.
Out of all of that, what is one lesson that you would want other entrepreneurs to know?
I think you've got to surround yourself with the right people. You've got to have sounding boards. Mentoring is amazing. I love mentoring people and talking to them about their journeys and things. And I think it's that sharing and meeting people that may have done it before or doing it, and then just learning from those, really. And I think any training that you can go on, any workshops, any networking is absolutely golden, and don't be afraid. If there's someone that I want to talk to, I'm going to pick up the phone and call them. It's either a yes or a no, and I think, I mean, for me, I have overheads. So I also am very conscious that this business now needs to be successful. I have a lot of people relying on me. I work with councils and we've got landlords and things like that. So there's always a great pressure to make sure it's going well as well, especially recently with COVID. And it's very tough still at the moment. We're nowhere near running it, what the capacity is, what we should be doing. But slowly but surely, you can feel it's getting busier and busier and busier. And that's where the belief comes in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'm just too hopeful.
No, I don't think anybody can be
always hoping.
Yes, absolutely. What's your favorite business book?
So I'm not sure if I have an overall favorite. I mean, my time is limited. I mean, I love reading, but I don't do a huge amount. So I often watch seminars and stuff like that. But I always chase after and follow people that have written autobiographies. And some of my favorite, role models for me is, people like Alan Sugar that started from absolutely nothing. All the dragons, I've read all their autobiographies. Peter Jones has got a fantastic autobiography and he gives so many tips and hints. And they're just such inspiring people. And I think if you often see people, you think they're so untouchable and what they've achieved, but actually they're so normal. So I think for me, I always like to read about how companies started. So I've, recently read about how Marks and Spencer started. They started on a market stall. You don't think like that. You just assume they've always been big. So for me, I glean information. I love reading it. And, I'll always, and any business book going, I'm on your group and people make suggestions. And so I try and read the things that they're, I won't lie, I'm not reading very much at the moment with the boys. But you can definitely absorb yourself in there. And if you look at the autobiographies that I've got, they've got all the corners of the pages are folded down where I've read something. I thought, gosh, that's amazing, So yes, you've inspired me. I need to find a new book, I think.
Well, I think Shine On You Crazy Daisy with the biographies in there.
Already pre-ordered, absolutely.
It is. Thank you so much for being involved in Shine On You Crazy Daisy.
Thank you.
And it has been an absolute pleasure reading the chapters in there. And like you said, where people have come from and where they've got to. And reading the stories, and thank you for yours.
Yeah, well, listen, I can't believe it. I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm going to frame it. I'm going to be like, look, I'm in a book. And it's the same for you, actually. I think it's going to be fascinating, and we'll all learn so much about each other, actually. And it gives you a huge appreciation of what people are doing or managing and things like that. So, no, truly, I think it's fantastic what you've done this book. I mean, what an opportunity, amazing. And it was quite easy.
Welcome.
What you said, and now here I am in a book.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Belinda.
That's all right. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching the Shine On You Crazy Daisy podcast. If you've liked what you've seen today, then please make sure that you click the subscribe button to this channel to see more inspiration and motivation as more of these stories keep coming out. And if you want even more, click on the link below this video and go and have a look at the series of books Shine On You Crazy Daisy and get even more inspiration and motivation for you and your business.